Hello and welcome back to the third episode of my Kerpollo XIII moon landing mission using the Erkle docking mod. My name is Matthias Weiss, and yeah, we have both of our Kerbonauts outside. We have, I think it's Bill and Jebediah doing some science stuff here outside, while uh, Bob Kerman is still inside our command and service module. And oh yeah, just 20 kilometers above the actual landing site, still in a 15-kilometer orbit around the moon with an inclination of 177 degrees, which means standard equatorial orbit, but not facing the 90-degree angle, but the 270-degree angle. Yeah. Okay, the window for relaunch has just passed, so we will go back to the surface and whoops, there we are, and bring our Kerbals back into the ship to prepare for the most tricky part of the whole mission, which is the ascent back to orbit and the rendezvous with the ship. We can use MacJab to help us a little bit, but only a little bit, because the actual rendezvous in space, we have to time it manually. We can't use the rendezvous module for that. But I made some test flights and I already got everybody back home during these tests. I figured out that the actual best window to relaunch is when the ship is 32 kilometers away from the landing site. So the ship in orbit, I mean, of course. Okay, let's set up our ascent pilot. I set it to an orbit altitude of 15 kilometers, inclination of 180 degrees, although the inclination of our orbiting craft is a little bit different, but we can change that while we ascend with this ship. I will show you that later. Yeah, the ascent path is set to the turn starts directly after launch and ends at 5 kilometers altitude. We can do that because there's no atmosphere on the moon. Okay, preparations here are done, and right now what we do is we go back to the orbital view or the map view, and wait until we come into a good position to relaunch this thing. Just a short note, sometimes MacJab screws up the approach, so I will make a short save point and stop recording, and yeah, because I want to do it on the first person. Oh, nice! Huh. That is beautiful. What we can see here is yeah, we are pretty close to a total eclipse. So it's getting dark even on the sunny side of the moon. Cool, never had that before. Okay, what we do now, we wait until our orbiting craft comes in sight on the horizon. And once it does, oh, whoop, there it is. 58 kilometers, so we have still some time. Let's take a last look at Kerbin. Oh, yeah, and you see the sun is completely covered by the planet Kerbin. So technically it should be dark on the moon, but it is not really completely dark. Okay, let's see where we are. Okay, make a save point here. Okay. And engage. As I said, it's a fully automated launch, which we do here. We started directly with the gravity turn, and which this one will end at 5 kilometers. And let's see what the rendezvouz model says. Yes. Yeah, the inclination of our main service module is a little bit different from ours, so we have to correct that, and that's what I will do now. Okay. So I switched ships, and I need to go to the map mode. The thing is, we have to eyeball this, but you see there's quite an inclination between both our crafts. So I wait until here, where the inclination intersects, and then I just make a short burn to correct it. And on my last test, I managed an orbit, a rendezvouz within 2 kilometers. I hope I can do that today again, but even though it's off a little bit more, that's not a big problem, because we have plenty of fuel in our main stage. We can't really use our lunar lander because it's only controllable. You can only control it when you use the main thrusters, which is a little bit sad. Okay, getting close to the point where we have to burn. Let's start our burn. And you see, we are lining up. And that's it. That should be good enough. Let's go back to our main craft. And very important, re-engage the ascent autopilot, otherwise it won't work. So we are almost at the apoapsis. Let's hope that our autopilot does not throw us over today, because sometimes it just makes stupid maneuvers and leaves us in totally strange orbit. Okay, we are within 3.2 kilometers, which is pretty good. It's good enough. And it will catch up a little bit more. Okay. No, the orbit is not so good, but 2.5 kilometers should be good. So let's change ships here and just try it. So we target our vessel, which is 2.5 kilometers, just point directly towards it and start a burn. Both ships are in a stable orbit, so it's just first burn. Whoopa. That's a little bit too fast. So we are now within 1.2 kilometers, so I will try to get rid of my relative velocity here and do my next burn to the target. Steering error is low enough. Okay. 1,100 meters to go. Of course we could just take our Kerbals here and fly them over, but that's not what we want to do today. We want real hard docking. Okay. Let's just accelerate a little bit until we are at 200 meters or something like that. Docking always takes time. Okay. And again, let's get rid of our relative velocity. Coming very close here, maybe a little too close. To kill off 10 meters per second of relative velocity. Okay. Now we are approaching with 2 meters per second. And time to get manual. Okay, slow down, slow down. Yeah, that takes time. But actually, think I'm doing pretty good here. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Turn the ship around a little bit. Let's try to get the nose up into the position we want. Should be good. A little correction here. Okay, we have to push back and towards the ship. Can already activate the docking claw. Drifting away into that direction, so a little bit to the side. And over there. Man, if it continues like this, this could be my first real good docking approach. Let's see. It was no. 10 meters left. Just a little tad more into this direction. Oh, if it works for the first time, on the first try, that would be just amazing. A little correction here. And yeah, actually it worked. on our first try. And we're docked again. So our orbit is still fine enough, so don't have to worry about that. We can now change vehicles and bring, whoop, relax. Bring our crew back over. To this ship. Grab and board. And the last one, Jebediah. Where is he? Let go. Ooh. Ah. Come back, Jeb. Still have my problems with these EVA stuff in space. Okay, we have everything back in our ship. The thing is, the second thing I noticed, which does not work as expected, because we have these crewable port here. I can't control this vessel, even though there's MacJab attached, while docked to our main craft. So normally, with the tiny fuel which is left in here, I would have deorbited this craft in the orb to the moon using its own thrusters, just remotely, but we can't do that, so we have to improvise. And improvising means we use the fuel we have on our main stage to deorbit our whole ship, then detach the lander so it falls back to the moon, and then we have to burn to get in orbit again. And that's it. Now we can undock RCS and move back. Turn around. And bring us back onto orbit. Whoops. Yeah, I forgot how easy it is. Anyways, as we are rotating against the normal rotation we had on other missions, we have to burn at a different point to get back to Kerbin. Just let's take a look as the sun comes back up behind planet of Kerbin. Our lander will surely fall down to the moon, but we will have to burn approximately here to get us back to a return trajectory. So before we completely enter the dark, oh no, we are already in the dark side when we do that. Forget what I said. Okay, and a little bit more. This should be good. So now just thrust prograde. $2 million, $1 million. And we are on a return trajectory. Okay. One last look at the moon. From here. Whoop. Okay, MacJab just died. Nobody knows why, but yeah, it died. Now all we do is time accelerate here. And just wait until we fall back onto Kerbin. Yeah, MacJab thing is still here, but yeah. One thing I still want to mention. Whoa, that was close. One thing I want to mention here is that even though I made a save point and I stopped video recording for a short time, I actually made it in the first try. So the first try was the actual what you saw, was also what you saw here. Okay. We have detached our last stage and now just wait for our re-entry into the atmosphere. And as it is for me only successful if I don't leave anything back in space, this was surely a very successful mission, even though it would have been nicer if we could have used the engine and the last bit of fuel which was left in the lander aircraft, spacecraft, to ditch it to the lunar surface remotely. But yeah, even though it didn't work, it worked using the main engine. And I kind of like how the how tight the fuel budget is for you going back into orbit. So you really need a low orbit around the moon. Otherwise you get, I tried it from a 20-kilometer orbit, not knowing that this would be not enough for our return. Whoa, that is a close pass by. Okay, there goes the parachutes. Yeah, I tried it with a 20-kilometer orbit, but from the landing from a 20-kilometer orbit does not work as good as from a 15-kilometer orbit, because MacJab just makes some strange stuff, and yeah, it always fell over, so I went for a lower orbit. The only thing which could go wrong now is that this thing here is actually too heavy for 3 parachutes, and I just hope it isn't. Because losing the standard crew right now would really suck hard. Nice. It seems like it worked. So there's the moon. We've been there, and I don't know, is this Minmus? I don't want to go into map mode, but because sometimes it just crashes the parachutes. But I think that might be Minmus over there. I don't know. Yeah. As this mission comes to an end, I hope you liked it, and I will publish the craft file for everyone who wants to redo this mission. Mods needed for this are MacJab and the Erkle docking mod. But about the Erkle docking mod, one thing I have to add. With the actual version 0.5 experimental, he removed the decoupler possibility from the SC18W warp clamp, and I added it back because otherwise this vessel won't work. So just add the line which works for the decoupler. If you don't know how, just send me a message and I will explain it to you and give you just a part of it. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching, and a huge thank you for Erkle 64 who made this possible by supplying such a great mod. And of course, a big thank you also to Squad who made an amazing game. And I wish you all a very nice day. I hope you liked my videos. I will now work on videos for on a spacecraft which is able to go to Duna using the same design philosophy as this used, and maybe one with attachable not crew tanks, fuel tanks, which can be docked to the main spacecraft to visit the Julian moons, because with these clamp you can also refuel. So I can use this lander to land on all different moons of Joule, and always refuel at my main spacecraft, which is pretty nice, I think. Okay guys, stay tuned for new videos. Thank you for watching. My name is Matthias Weiß, and fly safe. Or dangerous, what you like.